What is up, YouTube? It is your boy Stay Live AJ back in the building. You already know the vibes, and today I'm coming at you guys with another reaction video, man. Today we're gonna be reacting to AEW Fight Forever review, brought to you by What Culture. Appreciate you guys for the content, man. AEW Fight Forever does come out June 29th, I believe. So everybody that pre-ordered is getting to play it now. And so everybody's going to be giving their honest opinions. Well, hopefully their honest opinions on how they feel about the game. Me, myself, I will be playing the game most likely on stream at STAYLIVEAJ. You already know what it is. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video, man. I'm excited. I wanna see what's going on.
Hello and welcome to What Culture Wrestling with myself, Andrew Pollard. I hope you're doing well today. But today we have a review of AEW Fight Forever. Yes, the wait is finally
The game
over.
looks tough though. The game definitely looks tough.
I've been playing it for the last week or so on the PlayStation 5. And so let's see whether it's any good. Now, the gameplay, first and foremost, it's so easy to pick up. It's just kind of pick up and play, literally. It's easy.
I like how they got the thumbtacks. Them thumbtacks is raw.
I don't mean that in a bad way. But also, it's one of those games where it's easy to learn the controls, but a little trickier to master. Again, in a good way, because you don't want to pick this game up and be an expert straight away. You don't have to be a gaming pro to be able to pick this up and just have a whole load of fun.
Hey, that's suicide dive crazy.
The action. And yes, you can clearly see the influence of.
I like the game so far. I like the gameplay so far for sure.
And the action here, it's quick action. It's intergender action.
It is quick.
Really nice touch here. You don't. It's not a case of having to go to intergender matches. Just any match you can have.
They got intergender.
And there's also
WWE ain't got no intergender matches.
So everybody has a sense of equalness. You can beat anybody with anybody. It's all about getting momentum and then taking down your opponent. But at the end of the day, it comes down to signature moves and finishing moves. And
yeah, I don't want to hear nobody complaining. You can't pick him. I'm picking whoever I feel like. Stop hating.
They do what they do exactly as they say on the tin. And there's an impact as well with some of the moves. Like for instance, Kenny Omega, the V trigger, that it's like oof, when you hit that, there's just a sense of brutality, the impact it makes. And then in terms of impact as well,
they got the fire extinguisher too. The weapons are crazy in this game. I like the weapons,
which you can then ride,
and you got the skateboard too.
It's again daft fun.
Then they put so much detail into like Darby Allin's pain and stuff like that, bro. Like I like that, man.
Sometimes
this game's gonna be pretty good detail wise.
There's a little bit of clunkiness to the action, but it's, as I mentioned, the word of the day today is gonna be fun. That is gonna come up a lot throughout this video. But there is a sense of clunkiness. Overall, the gameplay's it's brisk, it's quick, it's fluid. The menu screens, the load screens, it all feels really polished in that regard. In terms of how
I want to see Road to Elite. I want to see Road to Elite look like.
Times are really quick. You select who you want to go. You select where you want to fight in what venue, what arena, and within 10 seconds you're there. It's nice. And in terms of getting there, the entrances now.
I like
you may
that.
have seen online ahead of Fight Forever's release.
Is that the barbed wire match they were talking about?
You get from a modern wrestling game in terms of entrances. There's no elaborate entrances. It's kind of, I guess, if I was going to estimate it, each wrestler gets 5 seconds of entrance. They walk out to the top of the ramp. They do their pose or whatever they do. The music's playing briefly. The videos on the wall, and you control the pyro, which is a nice touch. So
you could control the pyro. That's tough. Okay.
Or light. But the entrances are very brief, and it took me a little while to get used to it. Cause it's like, oh, I'm not sure if I like that. But again, it's all part of the pacing of the game. This is a very fast-paced game. Now,
it's because they know people don't be watching them.
I saw some of the early footage, the early shots that came out of Fight Forever, and it didn't look that great. Some wrestlers still don't look ideal, but for the most part, most of it looks really good. Does it look like a high-end, in this case, for my case, PlayStation 5 game? No, it doesn't. But again, that's not really what Fight Forever is going for. It's just going for unique spins on the wrestlers. It's not photorealistic, although some people do look absolutely fantastic. Moxley looks great. Ricky Starks.
John Moxley does look. That does look like him.
To Elite with him. Sting looks great.
Sting is tough too. That's what I'm saying. They got everybody with face paint and stuff. They got like to a T.
The Bucks, for instance, don't particularly look that great, which is surprising because they're EVPs. For the matches themselves, though, the match types, it's a smidge limited. That's not to say again, it's not fun. It's just it is limited. There's singles matches. There's singles 3 ways. There's singles 4 ways. There's tag matches. There's a singles ladder match. There's a casino battle royale, and there's the exploding barbed wire match. Which is
so they got variety. See, but this is what I'm messing with though. I'm messing with that.
What we've got here is good. The ladder match itself is really nicely done. I really like. There's a nice mechanic to actually get in, because you have to get the casino chip at the top of the ladder.
This reminds me of
really nice mechanic to how you get that down.
Yo, this reminds me of the setup. Reminds me of Day of Reckoning. Like, I don't want to keep comparing it to WWE because they got their own spin and the game looks awesome, bro. But it looks like Day of Reckoning a little bit, like with like the bars and like this, like the signature pop up and stuff like that. I know this is not like, I know that's not like the only game that does it, but that's crazy. Let's go back. Oh, my bad.
It's just, it feels nice. The movement up the ladder as well feels a lot more fluid and easy to do. It's, again, that's part of what Fight Forever is going for, is it's easy.
Okay,
it's
so to pull down the ladder, all you got to do is
really cool.
just
now,
continuously tap the button. I feel like that's kind of easy, but
now, this one's
I like it.
A little bit weird because you're only allowed 4 wrestlers in the match at any one time. I mean, obviously in the Casino Battle Royales in real life, you're not. That's just, it's kind of a free-for-all as and when the different suits
when you do the
ring. But in this,
Royales, they got you in the corner.
In at any one time.
That's
so
tough.
Somebody else to enter the match,
I got you like in the corner.
Somebody has to be eliminated.
Where you're doing the entrance.
It maxes out at 4, which it felt a little bit like the old Royal Rumble on the Dreamcast, where you had the Rumble match where you'd only have, I think that was that 6 or was that 4 people you could have in the ring at any time.
Okay, so let me skip this ad. My bad, guys. So I'm not the only one.
That was cool. They got to the point.
All right, cool. So I'm not the only one making comparisons.
Really do much
okay.
for me in that regard, but it does seem for the game does limit it to 4 people in the ring in any match. There's no match where you have more than 4 in the ring at any one time. Now I should also say that online matches I've yet to play. When I've been playing the game,
that's what I want to know about
too.
Not
up at this point in time,
so the servers ain't up. That's crazy.
Like to play online. I cannot comment on the stability of the servers, but of course you're probably all waiting to hear about the exploding barbed wire match.
Of course,
as you would expect, is, I mean, no pun intended, it is a blast. It's really fun. You have basically 2 minutes and then the ring's going to explode. Obviously the barbed wire's around there. If you hit the ropes, they're electrified. There's tables set up in the corner with electrics on there, so
that's
throw
crazy.
people into that. There's a mini explosion. But then once the clock hits 2 minutes, the whole ring just blows up, and it blows up big time. There is supposedly there is a feature in here as an Easter egg where sometimes the ring will just have, basically will fizzle out like Kenny Omega and John Moxley. But there is supposedly an Easter egg where that will happen at times.
I like how they did that. That detail is crazy. That's what I mean, bro.
But it's very cool when the big explosion
like
goes
the
off
graphics may not be all of that, but like they definitely put some detail into it, bro.
It's a very gnarly game, especially the barbed wire match. The blood just pours out of people onto the mat. I can see why
the blood is wicked.
Of pushback on the rating.
I think you could turn it off, but it is wicked though.
Now the roster, I should address the roster because it's a slightly odd roster in some ways. You start with, I think it's just over 50 wrestlers. There are 2 people you can unlock in the store with in-game purchases, and that's Cody Rhodes and Aubrey Edwards. It's like, okay, I wasn't maybe expecting Aubrey as an unlockable wrestler, but hey, there we go. Paul White and Mr. Brody Lee are in there somewhere, but I've yet to work out how to unlock him.
You already know, Brody, Big Brody. Yes, sir.
Road to Elite, maybe. So there are other people in there to get at, and there will be DLC on the way. I mean, there's a DLC already announced with FTR, with the Bunny, with Hook, with Danhausen.
Okay, so they already got this kind of factored out too.
You can tell how long the game's been in development.
The Matt Hardy Dark is what I've been seeing the most get marketed, I guess.
This is the roster in another year, and then this is the roster. So don't be expecting to see, you know, a total who's who of AEW. Now, of course, they will. I'm sure that there will be more DLC.
I'm surprised they got CM Punk in the game.
So this problem.
I'm not gonna lie. I am.
Lots of nice touches to each wrestler. I mentioned before about each person feels unique. There's an individualness to them. MJF, for example, whereas other people, a certain button causes them to kind of like duck to one side. With MJF, he drops to his knees and he begs off. But then
I like that.
During that, you can then attack your opponent.
Extra, but like good extra.
Orange Cassidy is a load of fun to play at. It's ridiculously entertaining to just.
It gives them like a lot more personality. I like the hands in the pocket thing too. I think I saw that in somebody else's video.
And in terms of fun, it does not get any more fun than Road to Elite. Now,
this
is basically the storyline, the career mode, I guess is one way to call it, where you start
that will look like Finn Balor a little
an
bit.
AEW wrestler or a created wrestler, because it wouldn't be an AEW wrestler. I mean, you could create an AEW wrestler. More on that shortly. But yeah, you start on this, you get a phone call from Tony Khan to basically say, do you want to come and be in the Casino Battle Royal at Double or Nothing? Yeah, cool, no worries. And from there, it's an open book as to where you go and what happens, which is, man, I like that, where there's no straight linear path you have to go on. This is very much you choose your own destiny. First of all, you compete on Dynamite, then it opens up where you compete on Dark and Rampage, and obviously the aim is pay-per-views.
I like the fact you got options. I like that.
So you have 4 pay-per-views essentially, and each week is in a new city. And this is where, to me, this is the bit I had the most fun with. Each new city offers up the chance to. They're not mini games. I mean, there are mini games. We'll get to those as well. But it's not mini games as such. But there's extra elements to Road to Elite, where each new city you can go and explore a certain sightseeing spot, a hotspot.
Okay.
Which is really nice. And it's almost like a history lesson.
We out here doing side missions
about like certain monuments and certain areas and what's what's the history behind these.
It has like that like 2K City feel. I feel that. I like that.
Local food if you want. You don't have to, and you don't have to go sightseeing. You can choose to work out in the gym. You can go and do media appearances, press appearances.
2K City vibe. I like that though.
But for me, it's like, let's go and see the sights. Let's go and have a bite to eat. And then when you go to a restaurant, you get to sample that town or city's local delicacy, local speciality, which is it's a really simple, again, daft touch, but it just brings it adds so
that's
much.
What I mean though. That's good detail, man. I like that.
Sites. Go in and get a history lesson on the Liberty.
They give you something more to do than just, you feel me, slam people on the mat in the video game. It's like a stale.
With his full face paint on the beach. It's just silly. It's silly stuff, but it's just like, God, man, this is nice. It's just entertaining. And as you travel between city to city, it cuts out to basically a map with a plane, and you go. It's just little animations like this make this so endearing. It reminded me of Street Fighter, where you go from fight to fight and you go around on the map. And in terms of the actual wrestling, because there is wrestling to be done on Road to Elite, it's all dependent on how you do and how you interact with people. If you lose a match, that takes your story in a different path. And if you bump into a certain person, a certain wrestler, how you respond to them and interact with them, again, deviates your path as to how your story's going to be. I'm not going to go too deep into the story because I don't want to spoil anything. There's lots of really nice surprises in here. Lots of Easter eggs. It's all done tongue-in-cheek. Fight Forever itself is a game that's done tongue-in-cheek. There's a really good sense of humor just bubbling underneath, and it comes out a lot in Road to Elite. That's all I'm going to say on that matter. Now, I did mention mini-games.
I like the mini-games too, though.
It was announced there were going to be mini-games on Fight Forever. I felt it was needless. I just thought, why am I going to ever bother playing that? Again, though. They're really, really enjoyable.
I'll probably hop on the mini games for sure.
Three mini games. There's an AEW trivia quiz.
Especially if you can do it online, bro. You and a couple friends, bro. That would be kind of lit. You probably wouldn't play it for too long.
And then there's also a really cool mini game where you have to basically mimic Penta's moves. It's essentially a dance-off. There's 4 of you. In the ring, Penta's outside the ring. He does certain poses by hitting certain buttons. You have to copy that, and whoever does the most accurately wins. There's a whole lot of other mini games to unlock, supposedly in Road to Elite mode. Now I played through Road to Elite twice, and I've not unlocked any. I think just because I really do. You can play the mini games in Road to Elite as well, and every time I've done it there, I've got my backside handed to me, so I think that's probably the problem there. In terms of problems,
so they got you playing mini games in the story mode.
Is the creation suite. Some people do just buy the latest 2K games to create their own.
Well, know about them clothes, man. Know about them clothes, man.
Fight Forever is going to be a major shock to your system, I guess.
Know about the clothes,
it's very minimal. It's very bare bones. It feels very much geared towards creating your own fighter for a beat 'em up. Than it does to be able to replicate other wrestlers necessarily, if that makes sense. You can create your own male or female performer.
That ain't it, bro.
It's just the choices in terms of faces you have. I think it's.
I liked everything until we got there.
And you just choose those default faces. You can change the eye color. You can change the eyebrows. But the structure.
What's up with the skin color too, bro?
And like the hair, I think it was 17 selections.
There's like no like correlation like with
2K23.
Never mind.
Literally
We're just gonna let it go.
Hair choices or face choices.
Can we get at least like good choices with the hair?
So it's very minimal. It's very basic, but it's still fun. It's still fun to make your own creations, but don't be expecting to create a roster of WWE stars or legends of yesteryear. But there's again teases for other wrestlers in here, like because you can obviously make your own music. Well, not make your own music, but choose your own entrance theme. And there's so many.
Is that MVP entrance? Yo, they got MVP entrance in the game, fam.
Maybe added in the future, like Makito's in there. Angelico.
Yo, I didn't know they could do that.
So really underrated entrance theme.
I didn't know they could do
FTRs
that.
In there. Obviously, they're going to be in the game anyway. So there's a lot to choose from, and the moveset is extensive. While the actual physical creation is minimal, the moveset is bonkers. There's so much to choose from. So it's
That's good. All
swings
right,
and roundabouts. For what Fight Forever is going for, the feel, the vibe, the creation suite is fine. But if you're one of those that
like I said, the weapons are still crazy. The moveset seems to be pretty diverse as well.
Also, I should probably mention with the creations as well, it doesn't look like you can actually upload or download. So whatever you create is going to be your own. Basically, that's it. You can only use what you create. So that might be another slight turn off for some people. Right, AEW Fight Forever, as an overview, it's very much designed to pick up and play with a focus on the gameplay. Matches, they're usually quick, they're easy to get straight into, there's a briskness to everything about this game. The biggest compliment I can give AEW Fight Forever is it's the sort of game that me and my friends back during our university days would have had such a blast getting together, having a few beers, and just spending hours beating the tar out of each other on this. It's a game that works really well on its own, but is also one of those where if you get a group of pals together, it's going to be great. It's a game that has some flaws, like I mentioned. It's not perfect, it's not flawless, but for a first venture from AEW into video games proper, it's a really positive, encouraging release. It's a really enjoyable, fun game geared towards everybody being able just to pick it up, play it for a few minutes, have the time of their lives. That's
Facts.
It. It's a good old dollop of daft fun.
That's what wrestling games are supposed to be, though. I used to have some of my best times playing wrestling games with my cousins and stuff, man.
7, maybe an 8. So it's a good
7
game.
or 8.
I will say it again, and people will be sick of this. It's a fun game. There's so much here that just ticks all the right boxes.
That sound like waiting till the price go down to me. I don't know.
Playing this. So with that, I've been Andrew Pollard from What Culture Wrestling. Check out more videos here, somewhere around here. And
again appreciate you, What Culture. So at the end he gave it a 7 out of 10. 7 or 8 is what he said. 7 or 8 out of 10 is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I would probably wait until the game came out for a little bit and then probably go cop it for a 7 or 8 out of 10. Or if you're feeling kind of risky, go ahead and get the game and see if you like it. I mean, you never know. Me personally, like I said, I am a fan of AEW, so I'm probably going to go cop that myself. But I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you guys for watching. It's your boy STAYLIVE AJ, and I'm out.